Alright, what's going on? Let me go over some vocabulary with you. These are some important things I want you to understand and keep in mind. Alright? A water pump. A water pump is a machine that pumps out water, or a water out of a container. It's pretty simple, straightforward. Hollow is basically used to describe a container that is empty. Top rim is used to describe the top circular edged shape of, or a circular shaped edge of a cup. The base is used to describe the bottom of a cup, and the cup wall is used to describe the sides of a cup. So we're going to be doing the Great Coffee Cup classroom activity. Just to let you know, the purpose is to engage. What I'm trying to do is engage the students in the concepts of suspended water fountains and this thing called a hollow fountain, and introduce you to terms that might be unfamiliar with you. Please ask questions as much as you can, and I'm going to be sticking to a script, so I know it's going to be a little bit odd for me to go through this, but this is important for me to talk about. Yes, this is going to be on the test. I don't think they're going to be asking you like vocabulary words, but this kind of stuff is going to be going on the test. So there are several types of water fountains. Some are decorative, some are useful. How would you describe a water fountain? So, please describe a water fountain for me. Chat that to me, please. It's wet. Okay, all right. Cougar, please throw out an idea of a water fountain for me. Usually metal, could be plastic. All right, good. Yeah, I know. Weird question, but you drink from it? I guess you could. Yeah, totally. That would be a pretty functional water fountain. I guess I envision these grand, huge water fountains in Paris or something like that you have to drive around when I think of a water fountain. All right. Yeah, you can make a wish of it. All right. Does anyone know what makes a water flow in a water fountain? What makes a water fountain go? Oh, no audio. Okay. One second. 1 second, folks. 1 second. Audio problems. Good old audio problems. You know I love them. I apologize for the audio problem. Let me get back to my question. What makes a water fountain flow? What makes the water flow in a water fountain? That's my question. A pipe. Okay. Well, you have a pipe. Does that mean I have a water fountain? If you're trying to build a water fountain and I give you a pipe, what do you need? Well, you need water and you need a pipe, but I give you a pipe and you have water. Do you have a water fountain? A spout? Okay. Some force that pushes that. Okay, there we go, Joy. Now we're getting somewhere. What creates that force? A smaller opening. Yeah, but what creates that?
water doesn't just automatically go up a pipe. Yeah, essentially, I think in most water fountains, well, the gravity is what pulls the water down. But in most water fountains, you'll have some kind of water pump or a motor that basically takes this water and pushes it up. So it will push all the water up. Can you guys hear? Is everything all right? All right, cool. Does that make sense to you? Can you guys see that? All right, exactly. Check out figure 1. Can you see figure 1? It's like a water faucet. Figure 1 shows a faucet, much like the one that turns the water on the water outside, and it floats over a large cup. There's a stream of water coming out of the faucet into the cup. Can everyone see that? Yes or no? Okay. Has anyone ever seen a fountain that seemed to be like it was pouring out of or from midair? Have you ever seen that? It's what happens when my water. No. Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen? Yeah. This is what the water fountain looks like in your backyard or whatever, and it goes into this thing. But what I'm saying is, have you ever seen a water fountain that it almost looks like it's pouring from nothing? It's not attached to a wall or anything. It just is pouring from mid-air, it's flows into a cup, and it almost looks like magic. Yes, you've seen it. Tell me about it. It's interesting. Yeah, it's kind of artistic, I suppose. Keep going, Joy. Yeah, exactly. You think it almost looks like it's magic because it's like floating in the air. Anyway, I'm going to still move on to the next statement. To prepare the coffee cup performance task, you're going to need to be familiar with suspended fountains and some vocabulary associated with the water fountains. So here's what we got. A suspended fountain works because there's a clear, rigid plastic pipe holding in the falling water. How does the hidden pipe make it seem like the faucet is floating in air? So, actually, that's my question: is how does the hidden pipe make it seem like the faucet is floating in air? You guys, can you hear me? Okay. Well, how does it seem like how can you envision how the pipe works so that it can hold up this water faucet and then the water might flow around it to hide this clear plastic pipe holding this thing up? So it's not magic, of course. But the pump kind of pushes the water up into the hidden pipe, and then the water flows down the edges of the pipe so that it hides the pipe so you can't see it. And then, then the pump just keeps working and working and working, and it almost looks like magic. But really all it is it's a faucet that's attached on this side, not on this side. Yeah, it's an illusion. It kind of looks like it's a magic faucet that, pours water from nowhere. That's not true at all. It's pouring water from itself. All right. Like all water fountains, suspended water fountains use a water pump to push the water up the hidden pipe. We've examined how suspended water fountains work. Now let's talk about hollow fountains. So here's a hollow fountain. Does not appear to be running. Water is slowly shown from the top. All right, here we go. Sometimes fountains have a false bottom, so the water does not have to fill up the entire container. What happens is the bottom of the container is hollow. The water pump is placed in part of the container where the water is. Oh, okay. So basically, all they're saying is, I can make this cup as big as I want, and I don't need to have all of this, this entire cup to be full in order for it to have the illusion of it being full. Does that make sense? So all they're saying is they could hollow out the bottom over here and still have this top part be full, and it would look like the cup is all the way full. Unless, of course, you stand right over it and look straight down. Then I suppose it's, start messing things up with their illusion. What would the advantage of having part of the fountain be hollow? What's your thoughts? Why would I make part of the pipe or of the bottom of the cup hollow? Please respond. Well, Joy, what do you mean you're stuck? Oh, I see. Hey, look, I don't know is a perfectly fine answer. Cougar, I'll let you respond, and if you don't know, that's fine. I'll let you know what my thoughts are. So there's room for the water to fill up before it pushes back in the pipe. Well, actually, I would say that you would use less water, right? If I can get the same effect, but not have to use all this water, I'd rather do that. Saving water. Also, if I were to pump water up, it's harder to pump water up a greater distance. So I would rather pump water from the top of the container up to the faucet, as opposed to pumping water from the bottom of the container up to the faucet. It just makes that much more work for the pump. So it would be a good idea to make kind of like a false bottom on this cup, so that it only fills up like less than halfway. Because then my pump doesn't have to work as hard either. Save electricity. Does that make sense? All right. Why do you think this type of fountain is called a hollow fountain? It's pretty obvious. I'm not trying to trick you. Please tell me. Why do you think it's called a hollow fountain? Yes, exactly. The bottom of the cup is missing. It's hollow. Yeah. Perfect. All right. Page 3. Are there any questions about suspended or hollow fountains? Allow students for questions. No. Okay. Cougar, Kaylin, any questions? All right. So is it hollow because... Oh, um, yeah. Basically, I think that what they're doing is they put a piece of wood or something there to kind of make a smaller cup, and then they make the illusion that there's this huge tank, underneath. When that's not, it doesn't necessarily need to fill up the entire bottom. So maybe the cup is only like an inch deep, but then they put it over a cup that is like 10 inches tall. And so you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of water that the thing is filling up. And no, that's not true at all. It's only filling up like an inch deep worth of water. Because the bottom part is hollow. Okay. So, what comes to mind when you think about coffee? Allow students to respond. A nice scent, but a bitter taste. I agree. I actually don't like the taste of coffee. And if I do drink coffee, I put in 4. I made a coffee for my wife, and she liked it. It was a cup that's a regular size styrofoam cup. I put in 4 cups of cream, or 4 creamer little packets, and 8 packets of sugar. That's how me and my wife like to drink coffee. We basically like drinking sugar with the guise of coffee, kind of making it socially acceptable. All right, a coffee filter and a coffee cup. Okay. Yeah. Well, see, that's the point. Is we want to make sure that you're familiar with this stuff, so that way it's not completely foreign to you. Just as a fast question, have you've seen this before though? That coffee pot and a coffee cup like that? Okay, all right. So, in picture A is a circular top of a coffee cup. So part A of this thing is a circular top. What is this called? I know, these questions are kind of obvious. Yes, exactly. It's called a rim or a lip. In the performance test that you're going to be doing, this is going to be called a rim. So when they refer to the rim of the cup, obviously it's the top circular part. Got it? All right. What other things have rims? Remember, I have to read this to you verbatim, so I know that these questions sounds weird. Cups, but what other things besides cups have rims? Your smoothie blender. Ooh, I actually just got a Vitamix like 2 weeks ago. Cars have rims. I agree. Bowls have rims. Buckets. There we go. Exactly. Basketball hoops. All right. I guess they all have circles in common. Yeah, drum sets. You got a rim shot. All right. In picture B, or in the picture part B, is the bottom of the cup. In the performance task, this thing is going to be called the base. So if I referred to something called the base, I'm not saying like a bass guitar, I'm saying the bottom of a cup. Why do you think the bottom of the cup is called the base? Because it is the body. No. The body of the, it's not the body of the cup, it's the bottom of the cup. Bottom. It's the butt of the cup. Why is it called the base? I'm literally asking you the question that they asked me. Please respond. It's going to be a long video if no one responds. I got to wait for your response. If you don't know, just say IDK. Mike's not working. Why is this called the base of the cup? I apologize for any audio problems that we might have had just then. Why is this called the base of the cup?
If you don't know, say, I don't know, but just give me a response. You have 10 seconds. Because it's at the bottom. I agree. Yes, exactly. Essentially, to be honest with you, all it basically tells me is because it holds up the rest of the cup, or it's at the bottom of the cup. The important thing that you need to know is when I say the base of a cup, you understand that I'm talking about just this bottom part of the cup. So I need to write the word base here. I don't know how to do that. Because the computer's not letting me do it. It's all right. Base. You guys got it? Yes? No? Please? There we go. Awesome. Moving on. Okay. Finally started working for me on that one. All right. In picture the part C, the sides of the cup, in the coffee cup performance test, it's called the cup wall. Why do you think this part of the cup is called the wall? So I'm talking about the sides of the cup. Why is that called the wall? I don't know, because it's, what does it have in common with walls? Yes, that's exactly it. I think that you guys figured out that basically I'm giving you the answers that I want you to respond to at the same time. Yeah, exactly, because it blocks the fluids and such, and it holds things up, and it's kind of vertically, it's not exactly vertical, it's kind of like slant vertical, I guess, I suppose, if you want to call it that. Because if it were, these cups are smaller at the base and bigger at the rim. So anyway, are there any questions? Allow students for questions. No. Cougar. Kaylin. Nope. Nope. Okay. You are now ready to complete the Great Coffee Cup Assessment Performance Task. Let me see what the rest of the pictures are. Oh, look. That is a suspended fountain. The suspended fountain. Figure 1 shows a faucet, much like that, or the one that turns the water on outside, floating over a large cup. There's a stream of water coming down the faucet and flowing into the cup. Figure 2. This is a hollow fountain. Figure 2 shows the faucet above the container like the earlier picture, but it is connected to a container with a clear, rigid plastic pipe. The fountain does not appear to be running. Water is shown at the top of the cup. The bottom part of the cup is empty. Oh, I see. So basically, this is what it looks like when the illusion is on, and this is kind of like the schematic of it, so that way you can kind of see, well, what's really going on. It looks like water's coming out here, but it's really just the pipe that connects the water, the thing to the thing. And figure 3 is a picture of a cup with a bulb container with a handle and spout. The spout is where the coffee is poured from, so that's the spout. There is also a coffee cup with 3 parts. Part A is the top edge of the cup. It is circular shaped. Part B is the bottom of the cup. It is circular shaped. And part C is it is smaller than the top. So the bottom is smaller than the top. Part C is the sides of the cup, or as we refer to it, the walls of the cup. Does anyone have any questions? I went through all 8 pages of this Smarter Balance assessment performance test thing. Cool. I'm going to stop the recording then.